When I was in school, I had a bit of a slow start. I'm naturally a bit of an introverted person. That led me to feeling a bit left out during some conversations, and then that led to me not connecting with many people, which then led to me eventually becoming an outcast. Being an outcast led me towards video games and other traditionally nerdy things. And so I was deemed a nerd by everyone that I went to school with. But the thing is, I'm not going to focus on that in this video because my definition of nerd is very different. I don't think kids make much sense. The guys who were nerds in school are now probably chads, making a lot of money online, dating hot women, and living the life that we're all working towards. So, kids are dumb. Their definition of nerd is dumb. Let me put it this way. If you truly believe that liking computers, liking Pokemon, liking Lego is nerdy, then explain Brandon Moreno to me. Brandon Moreno is, I believe, a 2-time flyweight UFC champion of the world, and this guy is an absolute beast. But in his spare time, he collects Lego. He's the biggest Lego nerd you'll ever meet. Now you sit there in your crusty computer chair, sir, and try to tell Brandon Moreno that he's a nerd. You can't, can you? So it's not the activities that make someone a nerd, is it? It's not. And I was thinking about this for a while, thinking about that Brandon Moreno example. I was like, that guy's not a nerd. So what is a nerd? Why do we call people nerds? Even now I find myself, maybe I meet someone new or like I see someone on the internet and I'm like, that guy's got nerd energy, man. What's a nerd? And I think I have a definition which makes sense to me, and you guys tell me what you think. But being a nerd is living your life so safe that nothing bad could possibly ever happen to you. That to me is being a nerd. It's when you carry this hyper nervous energy and the world just scares you and you're so afraid to fail in front of other people, embarrass yourself, whatever it may be. That is what makes you a nerd. It is an energy that you carry, that you're terrified of the world. So what do we do to stop being a nerd then, Sam? Because I don't want to be scared of the world. How do I handle myself with like elegance and upkeep my masculinity when a man puts me on the spot, for example? And to do that, first we need to understand like where this comes from. And for me personally, because this is something I've overcome recently, my desire to not be seen failing in front of others comes from childhood trauma. There were times as a child where I embarrassed myself in front of a group of people and I was laughed at, and because they laughed at me, they also ostracized me as well. I no longer fit in with that group of people, and this is one of the most painful feelings you can give to a human being when you cast them out of your tribe. And this obviously sat with me as a child and festered into this nerd-like just being scared of everything. Like I can't fail in front of other people because they'll laugh at me and then they'll cast me out of their tribe again, and that just makes you a nerd. I'll tell you a story now from literally a week ago. I went out with some friends to smoke some cigars and play some card games, and when I arrived we got into playing the card games, and then someone said like, oh, usually we do like, you know, a dare or a forfeit for whoever loses. And in my brain I was just thinking, fuck, I hate shit like this so much because it requires me to usually do something humiliating in front of other people. And this is something that I would never ever usually do. And you know what? I did actually say when that was brought up, I said, I'm going to opt out of any forfeits and dares that come from this card game if I lose, right? And everyone was like, whatever, Sam, da-da-da-da-da. You know, these are good people. They're good people. We're on our second game of cards. In the first game, my friend Luke lost. And the forfeit was that he has to go in front of these people having their dinner and he has to do the fucking worm, and it was very fucking funny actually. It was very funny. But then the second game rolls around and it's me versus one other guy, and it's fucking tense because me and this one other guy were a bit more laid back, we're a bit more introverted, and the other guys, they've already won the game and they're watching us and they're just thinking to themselves, this is going to be fucking hilarious either way, because both of these guys really don't want to do a forfeit. Putting our cards down, and then suddenly the other guy places his cards down on the table, his one. I lost. I had to do a forfeit. And the forfeit was that I had to do a Michael Jackson moonwalk around the entire restaurant, come back to where I was standing, and then do a hee while grabbing my crotch. And this was an absolute nightmare scenario for me because, once again, it requires me to humiliate myself in front of other people. And also at the start of the game, I prefaced it by saying I'm opting out of all forfeits. But guess what? I actually got up and did the forfeit. anyway. And there's two reasons why I did that, okay? The first reason was that the people around me weren't nefarious. Like, the guidelines for getting the forfeit were fair. It wasn't targeted towards me to just make me look bad and to humiliate me. The reason there was a forfeit was to just add a sense of masculine camaraderie to the shared activity that we were doing and to just make it more funny, add some stakes. So that was number one, it wasn't nefarious. And two, my friend before the game did the fucking worm, man. He did the worm in front of this couple who were having a one-on-one date. How the fuck can I then not go forward with my dare after my friend put it all on the line like that before? So I was like, fuck it, I did it. I did the dare. Thanks, baby. Love you too. You know what? After I did the dare, I felt like a complete idiot. I sat down and I was like, oh fuck, I hated that so much. But then my friend Temmie, he showed me the video of me doing it. And just watching me do it, I realized just how little of a deal it actually fucking was. Like, yeah, I looked like a bit of a fucking idiot for like a few seconds, but I didn't look anywhere near as much of an idiot than I felt. Do you know what I mean? I put so much emphasis on the idea that other people would see me like an absolute fool when the reality was that's not the case. That's actually just a symptom of your childhood trauma, which is making you this nerdy dude who's just scared of the world and doesn't put himself on the line and like, oh, sorry guys, I won't do the dare because just do the fucking dare, man. Just do the dare. Nerd! But this is just one example. And it is a silly example, you know. If I said to my friends, sorry guys, I just don't want to do the fucking dare. I'll do something else. I'll down this drink, anything. I won't do the dare. It wouldn't have been the end of the world and I wouldn't have been a nerd. But if you navigate your entire life with this mindset, you will be a nerd. And it sounds kind of ridiculous, right? But when I first got to Thailand, I had a really upset stomach. I was fucking shitting my guts out like fucking 8 times a day. And I remember I was supposed to be doing a vlog with my friends Jack and Hamza, and my stomach was just in absolute ruins, and they were trying to convince me like, Sam, we need you on the vlog, like, you've got great energy, it's better when you're there, you need to come out. And I was like, bro, what if I shit myself? I'm gonna shit myself on my bike. I'm gonna shit myself in the pool club. I'm gonna shit myself. And I remember something Jack just tells me, like, just very candidly, like, Sam, so what if you shit yourself? And I was like, to me, it was just so catastrophic, the idea of me shitting myself. It's just like so embarrassing. But for Jack, it's just like, yeah, shit yourself. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's embarrassing, sure, but like if you're able to like laugh at yourself a little bit, it doesn't matter that much. And there's a lot of power in accepting the fact that you will fail and look like an idiot at certain points through your life. And accepting that fact allows you to actually take risks and to risk the idea of looking a bit silly so that you no longer are a nerd. And it's how you respond to these scenarios which is what makes it or breaks it, right? You could be a G who accidentally shit himself, or you could be a nerd who shit himself, got super insecure and allowed it to torment and ruin his entire year, and he's no longer friends with these people because sometimes they laughed with him about it. Obviously, if a friend shits himself, you're gonna be laughed at a little bit, of course, as long as it's in jest. But it's how you respond is what makes you a nerd. No, this is like a ridiculous notion. It is fucking crazy to think that a nerd is not just someone who likes computer games, but it's more to do with your reaction to events happening around you which aren't favorable to you. Do you throw yourself into the deep end and allow yourself to risk shitting yourself, or are you a nerd who just stays at home and like, the point of this video is this, guys, okay? You have to be willing to roll with the punches that life throws your way, because Lord knows life is going to throw you some punches, and it's how you respond to life throwing you those punches which is ultimately what makes you a cool dude or a nerd, okay? And I know some of the examples in this video are a bit silly and they're a bit cartoony and over the top, but I promise you, if you carry yourself this safe way all your life and you're not willing to take any risks, you're not willing to look like a bit of an idiot sometimes, you're not willing to fail, that is what truly makes you a nerd. And you can live a super safe existence, but it will never lead you to greatness. Never. If you want to learn how to make money online from the comfort of your bedroom or traveling the world with your laptop, I teach over 500 of my students how to do exactly that. And as you can see, we're getting excellent results inside of my Academy of Excellence. You could be next. Check links in the description, guys. Take care.